Okay, this poem is entitled Dream to Remember. Okay. I kept looking at her from across the room. After 5 years have passed, you're wearing the same perfume. Your face like a model and body curves the same. The feel of your presence nearly drove me insane. I could not tell if you were looking at me. Tricky like that, a woman's eyes are, you see. To me it did not matter, the hint was still there. So I took a small chance on the politeness of your stare. I decided to move from across the bar to be closer to you instead of so far. I now have no question your stare was for me, as across the room your eyes followed to my next seat. Polite conversation was to be my next step. Having two cold feet gave me no real help. Looking at your glass, I said, I'll have the same, while pulling out some money, a few dollars, and some change. I slowly raised my head. We were eye to eye, face to face. The radiant glow of your beauty caused my body to freeze in its place. You asked the first question, movement of lips so full and sweet. Your words were surely heard, yet I found I couldn't speak. All I could do is look at you for a while. From out of nowhere, I began to smile. You leaned over and kissed my cheek, then slid me a note as you stood to your feet. My eyes began to follow as you strolled across the floor. You tipped the bartender, then headed for the door. You turned back and gave me one last stare, winked your right eye, then flung your beautiful hair. Once you're out of my sight, that's what I was supposed to put here. Once you're out of sight, I then came to, opened the note given to me from you. As I read the note, I noticed tears in my eyes. Being happy to see you after years past makes me cry. I woke up before finishing your note. This may sound odd, but can you tell me what you wrote? Oh boy, I had to fight and struggle through that one. That was called Dream to Remember. And as it goes, I had a dream that I had met my wife, and her and I had been apart for quite a long period of time. And I had met my wife. The bar that I was speaking of in this particular poem was called the American Legion, which is a place, it's a veterans club place where people go that had a bar in it, you know. And my wife and I used to frequent that place. And so after years passed, you know, I came back to Arizona, and I was in the bar at one time, just sitting up there, and sure enough, my wife was in there, and she saw me, and I saw her, and she was staring at me in a sense, you know. And so I got up, and you know, assuredly, I got up and I went over there. And to make a long story short, as the poem went along, as you saw in the poem, you know, I sat down and I was kind of nervous, and I ordered the same drink she did while I was pulling out some money and everything like that. And she started to conversate with me, asking me questions, but me, I really was in shock in a sense. And so as I'm telling the story, or as it's going along, I'm actually hearing what you said, because a smile comes over my face. And once that smile comes over my face, and then pretty much, you know, she kisses me on the cheek or something, and gets to her feet, and she goes and she starts head out the door. But before she does, she slides me a note. Now this is all in a dream now. She slides me a note, and as I'm reading the note, you know, and I'm up there, and I'm like, I said, Once you're out of sight, then I came to and opened the note giving me to you, or giving to me from you. So I opened up her note. And then here it says I was, I started crying and stuff and all this kind of stuff. And this was while I was reading the note. So I was so happy after seeing her and everything like that. But then I woke up. So since I woke up, I woke up before finishing your note. This may sound odd, but can you tell me what you wrote? So this was a poem definitely written for my wife so that she can read it, and then she can send me back a note and telling me what she would have wrote, that kind of thing. And so it was just like, oh, are we going to get together? I don't know. It was a dream of mine, so I don't know. It was one of those mysteries. But that was a dream to remember. Hope you enjoyed that long, tedious thing. Okay, the next poem I'm going to read is called Endless Memories. Now remember, all this is going in alphabetical order, so there's no certain, I'm just going poem after poem, okay? Alrighty then, Endless Memories coming up next.